What's going on, guys? My name's Nixiel.
It's your boy Robino.
Today we're here to do another movie review, this time for The Nun.
I had a series of visions when I was younger. And after each one ended, the same thought would be stuck in my head.
What did you see?
I saw a nun.
Sister, please. This way.
Hello.
Now, what are you doing?
I'm praying.
Why?
I'm praying.
This movie, and I love horror movies, was not as bad. It was not scary, I gotta say that, but it wasn't a terrible movie. It was like, I actually had a lot of fun watching this movie. What can I say about this?
What can I say about this movie? God.
This
Man.
movie follows Father Burke and Sister Irene, who are a nun, but not a nun. Sister Irene is not. She's a, I don't know anything about this Catholic religion, all that stuff. So she's a nun in training, whatever the official word for that is, being sent with Father Burke to investigate a Romanian convent, or cloister, whatever it is, of nuns who apparently have gone missing and had a suicide. So they go to investigate what's going on.
He's pretty much the detective of the. I was calling him the detective of the church.
Or miracle finder, or what he calls himself, or something. But
Because I don't think they even had detectives and police back in the day. It was
only 1950s. Yes, they did.
Yeah, but I would think they would send an actual detective. I didn't think like.
Oh, it's a church thing. No one's going to take a detective into Romania, but if it's a church-based thing, yeah, they're going to send some church thing. But in Romania, they're not going to send their... It has to be responded to by Romanian police, if there's anyone in the village who cares.
So
They all hate they're not going to send them up there.
But I didn't know they had church detectives to do that.
Well, they investigate church-related things.
Yeah,
so they call that. They send those out. They need to find some for an exorcism or whatever else. See if it's worthy of such things. But anyway, they get there and they have to investigate.
Yeah.
Apparently, the whole thing about the nun, and there's a demonic nun roaming around, and they eventually uncover all more stuff. And the whole first half of this movie is very dark, atmospheric, and creepy. There are some issues I have in the beginning of the movie, more in the end of the movie, but overall, it's a very fun movie to watch. Not at all scary, gotta say that. Might be scary to some people. There's a few jump scares, but once again, not scary.
I didn't jump once. I'm in shock. I thought I was going to be jumping. I did not jump.
When I say I jumped, I said there were jump scares. I can tell where they were at when things popping up, but you can feel them coming. Now, I don't know what to say. This was a decent movie, I thought. Obviously, you don't think so.
No, this not. I mean, if like after Annabelle, I was thinking, you know what? I bet you the Nun has to be better. No, if you watched Annabelle and didn't like it, you're not gonna like this movie either. You're really not. I don't think you are.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's a whole different atmosphere. Annabelle has a creepy side of a doll.
This
they're getting into a convent, and there's something there.
I just kind of felt like the way they told
It felt
the
very
story,
blasphemous to me.
Yeah, but most of the time when I was watching the movie, I kind of felt like even with them telling the story, I just got disinterested. I just didn't care until like the very end. I would say that not the very very end, but once like towards the end, they started telling, okay, all right, so this is why they're doing what they're doing. I'm like, okay, cool. But the way they told it, it just didn't interest me. Like I didn't care, even though there were some parts I was like, oh, the boy, oh man, he's gonna slap him. I'm not slapping him, but he gonna kill all those nuns and stuff like that. That was the only fun part. That was it to me.
Oh, when they're gone near the end.
Yeah, because the guy, what's the dude name? Frenchie. Yeah, Frenchie.
He has a real name, but he goes by Frenchie, is what all his friends call him.
But he was probably the only person that was actually entertaining because he was the realest.
That's the
guy
one that's the thing I had issue with.
Really?
It's a horror movie. You're not supposed to have that much comic relief in a horror movie. Yes, every now and then, but I was expecting him to die halfway through.
Man, he saved the movie, in my opinion. He was the only.
It had too much comedy. That's why I was entertained and found it funny.
But that was the problem with the movie, though. I felt like they were just putting in scary stuff. They weren't really telling me a story. It wasn't interesting enough.
There was a full story.
Yeah, but the way they told it, it just wasn't, to me, wasn't interesting. I wasn't
because it's being told from the aspect of the detective and them investigating. We're not going to know the whole story and then watch them struggle around. They get there and they have no knowledge, just like we have no knowledge. Then as they discover something, we discover something. Eventually, after the movie, they found everything out, we find everything out. Then they go and fight the thing. Then we get to watch that.
That was a good part.
I like the whole
That's it.
thing. That's where it started getting a little boring to me because once they know the demon's name, they know what's going on, they know how to fight it, they have the tools, and it's like, oh, they're gonna win.
Yeah, kind of. But
That's when it gets boring to me. It's like, well, I know a fight's coming. It's gonna be cool. The effects are gonna be interesting, but they're gonna get slapped around. They're gonna struggle. They're gonna survive. The demon's gonna get out anyway. Yeah, whatever else. But the struggle, the atmosphere, just the creepiness, and everything that was going on in the beginning of the movie, that is what I really enjoyed. Like when they were walking through the hall, you see the nun behind her or whatever else. You follow that. Then just the various things, like when Father Burke woke up, he was chasing a kid through the sheets. He tapped on the shoulder, turned around, and goes outside. It got a little weird when he was outside and he got buried underground somehow.
yeah.
Do we really explain that? He got buried underground. Then it was almost like a grudge. You see, he was like, he had a lighter inside. He was like, you see the shadows and things are reaching at him.
Yeah, because he was fighting his demons, pretty much, in a way. Because,
yes and no.
Because one of the flashbacks, I guess he had to go do an exorcism for a little boy and failed. And ever since then, he's been haunted. Well, yes and no. He didn't fail, but he's still haunted by it. He was still haunted.
That's because he killed the kid.
Yeah.
Exorcisms typically are violent. Yeah. So when the demon leaves the body or is forced out of the body, he typically kills the person at the same time.
But he still kind of has to carry that with him. Think about it. As a little boy die right in front of you. He's like, damn.
Valak, which is the name of the nun, the demon that takes the image of the nun so it can sneak around and all that stuff, preys on your fears. It's a corruptor. It's I can't remember the word. Start with a D. Anyway, it takes form whatever it can get to you. So for the Bishop Father Burke, it takes the shape of the child, accusing him, why can't you save me? Why can't you save me? Defiler. I'm thinking Defiler. That's what I was thinking of. For the nun, it takes picture in place of another nun. Because that's how it destroyed everything else there. And that's what had to take him. But then it's the nun.
Which that was one thing I did want to know. It's like, okay, how did the nun start it and all that stuff like that, which was cool to see. Because apparently, okay, it was a demon the whole time controlling all the nuns. And I guess they had him in a room. No. They had him locked in a room. Remember? Because they had a key and they were trying to lock him in the room so that he wouldn't. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Possess anybody else. Because remember the lady, the beginning who killed herself, suicide. He killed herself, so then the demon won't possess her.
In order to get free, the demon needs a human soul.
Yes.
He needs to take over someone's body and all that stuff. Which, without a human soul, I can't do that. Yeah. So by committing suicide, which is a grievous crime in Catholic Church, I believe.
Yes, that's a sin. With anything.
A major sin.
Yeah.
She had to do that to stop the greater evil from getting out. So it was stuck in the church.
Yeah. Still trying to get out. Yeah. Oh, and another character I did like was Sister Irene.
Irene.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sister Irene. I did like her character because one thing I did like about her was it was like, yes, I want to be she was kind of conflicted in the movie. I felt like, yes, I want to be a nun, but at the same time, I believe that dinosaurs were here. Like I think at the beginning of the movie, she was showing all the other girls like, yeah, dinosaurs.
I don't think she was saying she believes dinosaurs necessarily. She was trying to say, don't follow the teachings exactly. You have to use your creativity or mind at the same time as believing in God and all that stuff.
Which that's what I liked about her character. She wasn't like this like, I want to be a nun. Like, no, I want to be a nun. At the same time. It's kind of like a feminist thing. I look at that like a feminist thing a little bit because it's like, yeah, I want to follow I want to follow the Bible and stuff like that, but I believe in other stuff too. Kind of
feminism.
Well, that's how I looked at it a little bit. Just because how feminist like, no, it's just because I'm a woman I can work. But with her, it was like, okay, I want to be a nun, but at the same time, I believe in other stuff.
Okay.
It's like like feminist, like women feel like they can work. The whole feminist movement, because they feel like
I understand what you're going about using the wrong thing.
Really, you don't think that? You don't think that it's kind of similar? Because like she wants to be a nun, but then, she believes in other stuff. Because nuns are very like very, praying all the time.
Okay.
But that was nice. That's what I liked about her character, though. You know what I'm saying? You saw the emotions and the conflict.
Yeah, the conflict is nice. Yeah. All right. I don't want to give too much of the movie. It's a newly released movie, so we'll have to wait on that. The one thing that major issue I had with this movie was not necessarily the CGI and other effects, was how much help God gave them, I guess. There were two parts that I was really conflicted about in this movie that really ruined it for me. And that was at the part where it came from creepy over to near the end of the movie when it started getting ridiculous and stupid.
Something about with the...
Two things. One was the blood of Christ.
Okay.
They had literally like a Christmas ornament. That's what it looked like. It was a glass ball with the blood of Christ in the shape of a cross, and they used it to drip blood out, and it was the holiest thing there, and all that stuff, and we could stop all things. And that's how they used it to fight the demon. That's how they used the seal in the back in the Crusades as well when the demon first got into the world. Yeah. The second part was when they were searching, there was a beam of light, even though they're underground, coming down through a crack, shining on a statue's finger, and reflecting off of a solid stone. It wasn't crystal; it was solid stone, reflecting off into perfectly towards a keyhole.
Yeah,
it's like the God of the presence
Mary
of God. Yes.
No, it was Mary. Mary will point the way.
Yeah, Mary will point the way.
Yeah, because they were talking about it in the movie.
That's what's so stupid, though. God was literally a beam of light's coming from the ceiling, shining onto right on the finger, and then shining out from the finger onto a hole. Like that's where we put the key, right over there. It's like, where's the light coming from? It's night.
That was so funny though.
It's night.
That was so.
You're underground. Where's the hell the light coming from?
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, I let it go because come on, all this nun stuff is going on, all these ghosts. So I mean, okay, it's okay. Oh.
Literally though, it said. You remember from the trailer? It said God ends here. Yeah. It was inside that. What the hell is God doing there if God ends there? What's he doing down there? Get out! It's just, it's getting stupid for me. That's when I was like, okay, they're going to win. Doesn't matter anymore. God's on their side. I'm not saying I'm against God, but from a movie aspect, that's...
It was very simple. It was very, it was.
I didn't like that.
Well, I mean, like I said, they have to figure out some way to make it seem like, this is how we're going to defeat it. Like they have to put something in there.
I know, it was ex machina. They had to find a way to end it.
Well, I mean, but still, though, it was.
They made it too powerful.
Yeah.
They weren't able to stop without the blood of Christ or whatever.
It wasn't even that big either. It was just like this little small cross about this big. I'm like, all that is gonna, it's always that. It's always like the blood. I mean, I know I wasn't expecting like a big bowl of blood. I wasn't expecting that. That would be kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I mean, come on, that little cross, they about this big.
One drop's all it takes.
Really? Yeah,
if it's the most holy thing on the face of the earth, which apparently in this movie they made it out to be, one drop should be able to banish any demon back to hell.
My thing is, why would they save the blood of Christ? Like, who was like going, "Ooh, I'm gonna save all this blood and put it and save it"? Like, that's so weird to me.
Well, they stabbed him when he was on the cross, right?
Yeah, okay, I understand that, but what were they doing? Like getting a whole bucket and go, "Whoa, we're gonna get the blood of Christ here"? Because remember, they didn't believe Jesus with anything anyway. So why would you get?
Maybe one of his followers went afterwards and scraps him off the ground or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I've always thought about that when they go, the blood of Christ. I would always be thinking that, like, how did people get the blood of Christ if they didn't believe him in the first place when they put him on the cross?
Now that we've pissed off every Christian in the world, comment in the section below.
I've always wondered that. Like, I don't know. There's
a lot of discrepancies in this movie, and it's like I said, it wasn't scary. It started off creepy, and I love the atmosphere and music that played in the beginning. Then it started getting really bad at the end. Every time the nun showed up, I love that low chanting that showed up as it was slowly rising up. I love that chanting. It was awesome.
That was like one of those lullabies that was putting me to sleep. Boy, I was.
You love the Gregorian chanting?
Yeah, a little bit. It has a nice little.
Oh, I love it too, but it doesn't put me to sleep.
But at the same time, I mean, it wasn't helping me watch the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Overall, a fun movie to watch. Scary movie, not so much.
You have to really. I mean, for me, if you're like me and a very average person, you really have to like watch it with somebody that loves movies like this to explain stuff. Don't go by yourself to watch this movie. That's all I gotta say. In order for you to,
I'm not very average. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say I'm not an average person. How dare you?
You are average, but at the same time, you like horror movies. Me, I like them, but at the same time, you really, really have to keep it interesting, or you really have to get me scared. And I wasn't really scared. So,
like I said, I wasn't scared of that scary movie.
Yeah.
They just kept dropping the ball in several parts. So thank y'all for watching this video. I think we're going to end it here. Go check out the video, the movie if you want to watch it. Don't if you don't want to watch it or don't like believe that thing. Very blasphemous, a lot of Christian things there. So if you don't feel comfortable about that, don't watch the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for joining me there, Robino.
Ain't no problem, man. No problem. Even though this movie was... I'm cool.
See, we saw on your birthday. It wasn't nearly as bad as you thought. He was terrified of it.
I wasn't terrified.
You were terrified of the thought of seeing on your birthday.
Yeah, okay, I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit like, come on, man. On my birthday, can we watch something else, please? But I said, you know what? No, I said I was gonna watch it. I was gonna be brave, and I was, because I wasn't scared.
It wasn't scary.
I wasn't scared at all. So I was like, I'm glad we went, because I didn't get scared, but at the same time, that was it.
If you're watching this video on my channel, go check out Robino's channel. Link in the description below. Robino Entertainment. A lot of top fives, movie reviews, trailer reactions, a lot of stuff we do here, plus ultra, plus extra, a lot of good stuff.
And if you're watching it on my channel, go check out my boy Rio stuff, man. He does the same thing I do, man. Movie reviews, trailer reactions, and so forth. Also, check out, we say this all the time, man. Check out Fearbot Gaming. Go check that out, man. We do a lot of VR stuff, which we're still doing. And we got and other games and so forth. And
I love it.
Maybe even game trailer reactions also. So
occasionally.
check it out. Yeah.
So thank y'all for watching the movie review. Hope to see y'all next time. Bye.
Peace out.